Hi everyone, it's Mikey. I've been sat on some news for about a month and a half now, and I've told a few people, I haven't told many, and I've sort of been sat with this and I've been processing it, and now I'm ready to talk about what's been going on. So I'm just going to get into it. Anybody who has known me for any sort of amount of time will be able to tell you that I've always struggled with depression and I've always struggled with anxiety, especially social anxiety. I struggle quite a lot in relationships, like romantic and platonic. I tend to see the world in black and white. It's either really good or really, really bad, and I haven't ever understood how other people think, act, or the way that the world works. It's always been alien. It's always been an alien concept to me. To cut a long story short, about 8 or 9 months ago, my parents came to visit me because my mental health wasn't great, and we went on a day out. And on the way home, we were talking about my struggles with depression, with anxiety, and my mum said to me, I think it was mum anyway, do you think there could be something that underlies it? That your depression and your anxiety are a symptom and not the cause of your difficulties? And I thought about it. I got home, I did some research, and I asked my doctors to refer me to a service at Highbury Hospital in Nottingham. And there was a wait of about 6 months. They gave me they gave me like a meeting. They took some information and they said, you'll be seen in about 6 months. That happened, the assessment happened about a month and a half ago. And at the end of the assessment, after carrying out an array of cognitive tests on me, the nurse, Jackie, came in, brought my parents in, sat me down and said, you've got Asperger's syndrome. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head. It was the most liberating experience of my life. I finally understood why I did things the way that I do them, why I think the way that I think. And I was finally being understood by other people. It was an incredible, wonderful feeling. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head. It was like I went, that's it, that's why I act that way. For those of you who don't necessarily understand or know much about Asperger's, let me fill you in. It's a condition I've had since birth. They don't know what causes it. It's a neurodevelopmental condition that affects the way that I think, the way that I act. For me, my symptoms are I struggle with eye contact, I struggle with small talk, I find it very, very difficult to hold conversations with people I don't know very, very well. I get very anxious very easily in any given situation. I also have obsessive compulsive tendencies. Like my iTunes is a great example. Everything is listed chronologically and in alphabetical order. So it'll be like, for example, all my ABBA stuff is listed in chronological order, and if a single came before the album, then that's how it appeared. Like if a single was released before an album by ABBA, that's how it will appear in my iTunes. Single, album, single, 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 album, that kind of thing. I'm also quite forgetful. Most people have the ability to absorb information visually, orally, auditorily. Is that a word? And then filter out the bits that they don't need in that moment. I don't do that. I can't do that. The way that my brain works is that it absorbs everything at once, and it can be quite overpowering. Loud noises, even like the feel of this mesh t-shirt on my skin. I'm very, very much aware of it, even though I don't need to be. What else? Time management. I really struggle with deadlines, and I struggle when I say be here for a certain time, and then like people turn up like naming no names. No, I'm actually not going to name any names. It's no shade at anybody. I also develop obsessions really easily. I've been obsessed with Star Trek since I was about 8. In fact, I don't think I even watched kids' TV past the age of 8. I was just like, I need all the Star Trek in my life. It also explains my uncompromising love for all things Kylie Minogue and RuPaul's Drag Race. Team Miss Cracker. That's a Drag Race thing. I stutter a lot as well, and I get frustrated with myself quite easily. Like I do this a lot. I find it very difficult to memorise things. But it being given a diagnosis like Asperger's can be quite difficult on some people, or so I've been told. For me, it wasn't like that. It was a huge liberating relief. Before, I thought I was broken, that there was something fundamentally wrong with the way I was. And that isn't the case at all. I am not broken, I just think differently. My brain is wired differently. I have felt this kind of inner peace that I haven't felt for a long, I don't think I've ever felt it. And everything seems a little bit brighter, everything seems a little bit more manageable. I don't see myself as having a disorder. I don't see myself as having a disability, and I don't see myself as being a freak or wrong. I know there is a tendency in the media to portray autistic people as people who need care and attention all the time. I don't. I am a fully functioning, productive member of society. And I don't see any reason why I should be treated any differently. And I have to say, I haven't been treated any differently. I was expecting people to start walking on eggshells, and the people that I've told were just like, okay, you're still you. We still, my boyfriend, who is the most amazing and supportive and loyal and loving person I have ever encountered in my life, just said to me, nothing has changed besides 2 new words, and they're just words. Everyone that I've told, which isn't a lot, which hasn't been many people, have been absolutely fantastic, and really nothing has changed. I'm still me, but I understand myself a little better, and I think people understand me a little better. I guess you could say I'm happy, and I'm finally, to borrow a phrase from RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm really starting to live my truth. I'm so happy. I'm going to go back to university in September. I'm going to have more support available because I have Asperger's. I'm going to absolutely slay it. I have some wonderful, wonderful humans in my life. My parents, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, my parents are, and always have been, huge inspirations to me. Anyone that's familiar with me and my mum know that we have a witty sort of banter where we pretend that we don't like each other. But she's my hero, and she's been wonderful. since well, she's always been wonderful, but she's been extra wonderful since my diagnosis. My dad, amazing human, amazing man, a total role model for anybody. But for me, he's like, you know, both mum and dad, number one. My boyfriend James. This is starting to feel like I'm getting on like an Oscar speech. So let me just thank my agent Carol. No, my boyfriend James. Amazing. I'm using amazing a lot, but these people really are. James hasn't treated me any differently. He doesn't see me in a different light. He doesn't see me as disabled. He just sees me as having a quirky personality. He treats me like an equal, and he treats me like a queen. My friends Jay and Tara, like, they are the two best friends a guy could ask for. They've asked questions, they've listened. They, again, haven't treated me any differently, and you two will always be right here. Yeah, you'll always be right here in my heart. I have so much mad love and respect for you. Amazing, beautiful creatures. Even if Tori doesn't turn up on time. Jokes. Love you, girl. I guess I'm sort of wrapping up now. Being understood for the first time in your life after 30 years and understanding yourself for the first time is something really profound, something that you have to kind of live with for a while before you can share it. When I was at school, I was led to believe that there was something wrong with me because I was naughty. I was labelled as the naughty kid. And because of that, I grew up for years thinking I was wrong, broken, that I was never going to amount to anything. And now I know that that's not the case. Like I said, I think differently. But that's not something that should be frowned upon. It should be something, for me, I want to celebrate the fact that I'm different. And I want to live who I am, live my tea, if you want to go back to that drag race analogy. I have such an amazing support network behind me. I'm going to a workshop for people who've just been diagnosed with Asperger's in a couple of weeks. In about 10 days. I'm excited to meet people who are like me, because I don't think I've never met anybody with Asperger's, or at least who told me they have Asperger's. The future just seems like really, really bright. Like I repeat myself as well. That's another thing. I'm going back to university in September to do the course that I've taken a leave of absence from doing. And I know I'm going to slay it. I know that I can do it. That there is support there. That I can access this support. I'm going to slay it. I'm going to walk in like I'm walking into the workroom at RuPaul's Drag Race and just snatch the crown. I'm I'm getting emotional, and I'm happy, and I hope that maybe through this video you've come to understand, if you've watched all of it of course, you've come to understand me a little bit better, and it's maybe answered some questions. And people have always said like, oh, wonder why he is that way. I hope that this video has made you a little bit more educated in Asperger's. Probably not. I'm really grateful for the support that I've received from the Asperger service at Highbury Hospital, from my wonderful family, from my wonderful boyfriend, from my wonderful friends that know. Even like my managers at work just don't treat me any differently. It's an amazing feeling, and I feel amazing for the first time in a very, very long time. So I'm going to leave it there, and you never know, I might check in with you in the next couple of weeks. Something tells me that this might be the start of quite a few of these vlogs, so apologies in advance. Bye.